Well, hello, everybody, and a wonderfully happy Monday to you, I do hope. I am glad to be here, but I gotta tell you, we are coming into the end of the weekend. It is, I'm recording this early. It's not Monday yet. It'll be Monday today when you get to listen to it, to our fabulous listeners. But this is Sunday afternoon for me, and I'm thinking, where did the weekend go? And oh my goodness, how quickly the time is going. It is going to be no time before the holidays are here. And
Yeah.
when I think about holidays, I think about great gifts. And some of the best gifts ever are books. And so with me today is no stranger to the program. Micki Findlay is back with us on Act Three. And we're going to break open what new book that she's got going on so that you've got something to do for Christmas this season. What do you think about that?
Sounds good. Thank you, Kathy. And it's always a pleasure to be with you. And something I don't mention usually on our interviews is that I always love being with you, not just because you make me feel comfortable, because you do so much good in your community. And you are just a light. You just shine in your community. And I think nowadays it's especially important to be kind
Aw.
and to uplift others and encourage others like you do. So thank you.
Well, it's a privilege to do this. And I get to sit with people like you who are also doing some pretty amazing things within the community. And I think we all have to do this together. Like there's a lot of stuff going on in the world and we need that positivity wherever we can find it. So thanks for being on Act Three. And so now I'm
It's a
excited about
pleasure.
the book because that's the reason why we're here today. You have a new book called Something Has Changed. What a interesting title. Tell me more.
I will show you. It's probably backwards to everybody,
It's actually
but
okay. And for the radio purposes, we just get to tell them. But for our Zoom, for
sure.
those people who know that our show is also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Zoom, Act Three is, you can find it on our channel. They can see the book. So you can go ahead and put it back up again if you like.
Okay. I'll show you the one without all the tabs sticking out. There you go. So
Well,
actually, this I designed this cover. I'm kind of proud of it. The trees come from a Duncan parking lot, believe it or not. The lady was on Cannon Beach. So I just kind of put the two together, added some woohoos on it, and some cool colors, and there you go. Something has changed.
well, for our listeners, I have to tell you, it's black and red and gold, and it is absolutely a beautiful cover. I note that it says an anthology of women's voices. Something has changed. So clearly, this is a collaboration with some other
Yep.
writers in the community. Is that right?
Absolutely. We have a little writing group called the Pen Pals,
Yay!
and five of us wrote this book together. Um, Amazing, wonderful women that have risen above all kinds of challenges as we do, who just have displayed courage. They've gone through some really hard things, but risen above and shown inspiration to others through our book. So that's really what's important to us, is to reach out to other women, to remind them they're not alone,
Yes.
that they have something to offer, that to be authentic is so important, and that and we get it when things are tough. It can be hard, but there's always hope. And I think writing for me, well, not think, writing for me is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
So when I am actually going through things, writing uplifts me, and it gets my anger out and my angst and whatever else. So, anyways,
There's a lot
yes,
of
I'm
reasons for
very,
us,
yeah,
there's a lot of reason for us to find a vessel for, letting go of, finding ways to release that anger. Because, we know that when we're completely stressed out, we know that when our, brains are full of some of the negative stuff that are going on, that it ends up taking out itself on our bodies. And so we need to find
absolutely,
something that we can do to release it. And writing is one of the best ways we can do that for sure.
so true.
Yeah. So some of the writers that you've had, are these the pen pals? Are they like longtime writers? Have they been doing this for a spell, or are some of them brand spanking new?
We have one that is quite new, but her name is Ramona Jones. But she actually studied English literature at SFU. She discovered us through her writing teacher, Deborah Kuzbek, who is the writing teacher and author and photographer who actually started our group.
Yeah.
Um, Lynn McEwen. She was born in the year of Hurricane Hazel,
Oh,
a
wow.
traveler, parent, artist, and educator, past member of the Canadian Authors Association and Canadian Poetry Association. Her work has appeared in Prairie Fire and Pomada. She's a proud Haudenosaunee woman, which I probably said wrong. I apologize. And she shares her heritage and experience through poetry and prose. Jackie Townsend lives in French Creek. She reflects on a life rich with adventure and creativity. Born in Calgary, she built a career in nursing, wrote newspaper columns, published a cookbook, and directed at Eldercott College. Today, she enjoys writing flash fiction and poetry inspired by the support of our group, the Pen Pals. Deborah Kuzbik, again, she is an award-winning educator, author, and photographer with degree from the University of Regina and University of Saskatchewan. After more than 30 years as a teacher, administrator, and director of education, she and her hubby retired from Saskatchewan to Vancouver Island, where two of their children live. And you know me, so I won't go all into mine. So,
Well, I
but
think
that
for
just
our
gives you
listeners,
an idea.
I think for our listeners, it's good that we share what it is that you've been doing as well and how you came to this place, as well as your other authors, because not everyone may have seen one of our previous shows and know
True.
you the way that I do, right? So let's share a little bit
Okay.
of your experiences as well.
Um, well, I'm an author, poet, and columnist, as you know.
Yeah.
I basically, Kathy, write to uplift and encourage women. I speak out against injustice. I have a Substack piece there. My work appears in Chicken Soup for the Soul, Van Isle Poetry Collective, Black Press Media, and several anthologies. Creativity, community, collaboration, and coffee are my love languages.
Yes, yes, that is true. I love the collaboration piece. And so I am very happy that something has changed is now in print and ready to roll for people to pick up. Now I'm curious as well, in previous incarnations of the work you have done, you have often written or had your anthologies where people have overcome some really major thing that has happened within their lives, and they have shared their interpretation of that in a very inspiring way of what they've learned from their life experiences. Is something has changed similar? Is it the same kind of genre, or is it a little bit different this time?
It is in actually it's different. Yes, it's based on true stories. The poems are true, but it's more. There's more variety, I would say, because we have 50 word stories, we have haikus, we have original inspirational quotes, and then short stories. Although we did throw in two fictional ones just for fun, but mostly they're all true based on our lives and very inspirational, very moving.
Yeah, it's hard for people at times to put their voice to print. I know that you have some writers that have inspired you over the years to be, and some teachers that have inspired your choice of writing so that you can dig in a little bit more. Have you used some of those techniques and shared those tools with your writers, or have they come in with their own set of fresh eyes, their own experiences to contribute to this novel?
A little of both, because we're all five of us are incredibly different writers, which makes the
Yes.
book really rich with diversity. However, I took a course with a well-known author named Alison Waring. She is a memoir teacher, and I had taken her course a few years ago. She taught me how to write by showing rather than telling.
Yes.
So rather than saying, "Oh, it's snowing outside today," you could say something like, "Oh, I got on my galoshes they crinkle crunched in the white snow beneath me," and just bringing and the smell, the pure clean smell of snow filled my nostrils. So it's basically about showing, not telling. But like I said, every one of us comes with our own kind of genre and own kind of style, and we help each other.
And the best part is you're helping each other, right? I mean, I think
Yeah,
helping each
yeah.
other is always the way to roll. Is there one story specifically? I mean, I'm sure that they're all good that have landed into this publication, but is there one story that stands out for you? What is the story and why does it, touch you the way that it does?
Are you talking about in our book
Yes, correct.
specifically?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a really tough question
Sorry,
because
because I'm sure
these,
it is. If
these
there's so many fabulous pieces, I
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, these are beautiful. And the stories might be a bit long for your session,
Yeah.
but there are some beautiful poems that I could give you.
Sure,
Would that work
why
for
not
you?
share? Yeah, why not share one or two of them? And we can share
Okay.
some more later on as well, but let's share a couple of them and give
Okay.
people a little bit of a taste of what they may experience.
Absolutely. So I'll just start with, I guess, you know what? I'm going to start with a couple of 50-word stories.
Oh,
And that
perfect.
is a lot harder than you would think to write a story in 50 words.
Well, in fairness, Micki, I write a monthly column for Nanaimo and Voyager magazine. As I've had my own byline for 13 years, 14 years, something like that. And I got to tell you, I have a word maximum of 350, and sticking into that 350 is tough. So I can only imagine what it must be like to only
It
have 50.
is.
It's like,
It
wow,
is
it's a
very
talent.
tricky. So this is a couple of ones that I wrote, and I think if they're really fitting maybe for the program and uh the people that you reach out to quite a bit.
Sure.
This one's called Old Age. Thanks to the wisdom that accompanies these enlightened years of antiquity, I'm extremely self-aware, knowing I can sometimes be oversensitive and picky. I refer to myself as the princess and the pea. Today, my husband quips, or the princess who has to pee. Sigh, the crowning glory of old age. And this was called Control. Death keeps reminding me of my lack of control over how or when I will exit this world, but I can control my attitude. I would rather dance on broken limbs than let fear or self doubt paralyze me. I'm not as afraid of death as I am of not living. So
Mm.
that's just a couple of examples.
Those are two really, really good examples. And I mean, I giggle at the first one because as you know, you were at my 60th birthday and so that was a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Um, and I find that things are changing as I get a little bit older. But I think that, and I think your piece actually fits perfectly for that. But the one that moves me between the two of them is the social kind of justice that I get from your second piece. Was there, and is there an event that has kind of leaned you towards this? I know that, there's been a lot of stuff going on politically. People are freaked out a little bit. I know that you've been, walking and making a movement to get people to wake up for what's happening.
Yeah,
Was that part of
yeah.
the reason why that particular piece came out, or did it come before or after that body of work?
No, it has absolutely nothing to do with that.
Okay, there you go.
But but I am very motivated to write because of the political climate, what's happening in the States. I have people I love very dearly in the States. So I tend to write a lot more now. I didn't even used to be political, Kathy. Like I didn't care less. I voted, yes,
Of course,
but
of
I knew
course.
very, the minimal amount I needed to know to know who to vote for, which is I'm a little embarrassed to admit that, but ever since Trump came into power, I have certainly been a lot more vocal. Also, I started a group called Elbows Up Van Isle
Yeah.
and in Facebook you can find that just because I believe in the movement. And I always say to people, we don't have our elbows up against Americans. We have our elbows up for them,
Yeah.
for those who are suffering and hurting. And, a lot of them don't even have a voice. They're just whisked away to God knows where and forgotten. And so
Yeah,
I
the
just feel,
human rights piece is missing out of that equation for sure. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I completely resonate with what you're saying. I too have so many friends out of the States, and I
Mhm.
struggle with even the idea of going across the line right now. And obviously today's conversation isn't a political conversation, but I
Yeah.
resonate with what it is you're saying and what it is you're doing because it is really, really frightening at this moment.
Mhm.
And I think it does, anytime that there is a major social change, it offers audience for new writing. It offers
Mhm.
audience for a way to take that, negative piece and channel it into many better places, including, creating organizations like Elbows Up, and also from a writing perspective, getting the feelings that can be really ugly feelings off of the chest and onto a piece of paper.
Absolutely. And I just feel I'm not the greatest speaker, but I'm a better writer. And I just feel if I have that voice, I feel committed to using it for good and hope that I can reach somebody. I think that's important. So,
Yeah.
but this control piece that I just read, I would say it's really about my past relationships, a few
Oh,
toxic relationships that taught me that I need to rise above, and I need to find my soul. I need to find my soul. I need to find out what makes me tick, what gives me joy, and do that thing because our life is short. So yeah, yeah.
having said
So
that,
I would rather dance on broken limbs than let fear or self-doubt paralyze me.
yeah, for sure. For sure. There is, I think that it's such a good message. And because, this show is also part of Malaspina or VIU, right, with CHLY 101.7 FM, a lot of our students are experiencing that fear in this moment. So this piece actually is intergenerational, isn't it?
Absolutely. And even though our book is actually aimed, I would say more for women over 40,
Sure.
I wished I had had a book like this or known about a book like this when I was younger. I might have avoided some really unfortunate life choices and like I said, toxic relationships because we can learn from the older women.
Oh my God,
Um,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. So
But it's
I
hard
did
to
feel
believe
that
that
this
we
book.
are the older women now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like an older woman at all.
Well, my mind doesn't, but my body sure
Oh,
does.
well, in fairness, there's that. Keep the body part out of it and let's just stick with
Yeah, absolutely.
right. Inside, I'm still like, 29-year-old forever, let's kick it.
Hmm.
But you're quite right. My body says a different story. So the writers that you have and Something Has Changed, collectively, you guys came together to create this anthology of women's voices. Why the title Something Has Changed? What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, first of all, I'm very obsessed when I try to find a title for something. So I'll have a huge long list of possible titles. And I think, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. And something in our group just popped up. Something has changed. And I thought, oh my goodness, just like that. But it's really about because this book kind of brings in when we were younger, the
Yeah.
things that we dealt with when we were younger, and then some things we dealt with as teenagers, what we learned and rose above as older women. It encompasses all the different stages of a woman's life. So something has changed, just seems perfect for that.
So then I can only assume there's got to be something on menopause in there.
Do you know what? I don't think there is.
Oh, there you go.
I think that's funny. You would think there would be, but
But
I actually wrote a menopause song, but I won't do it today. It's not
okay,
in
well,
here.
good to know. Because when I think about women and our change, we're at one minute we're young, and then we're caring for young, right? And then we're
Mm-hmm.
returning our youth or trying to be young again at some level or another. And then we get to an age or a stage in our life. I don't necessarily know if there's a number attached to it, but there comes a time when we're comfortable in our skin, like really comfortable in our skin, right? Uh,
Absolutely.
and then we start to digress. Some of us, you start our bodies start to get a little bit more achy, painy, more physical symptoms appear.
Mhm.
Before we got started, you and I were joking about some of them. There are some things that happen to women, and it's a universal thing that women, whether you're a First Nation woman or whether you come from
Mhm.
Europe or you were born in Canada, that women we all just kind of resonate with. We just kind of are able to, I don't know, be really cool in our skin. What was that time
Absolutely.
frame?
Well, actually, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was going to say, what was that time frame for you specifically, especially in your writing journey?
Um, well, first of all, my writing has changed significantly.
Sure.
I think that it's definitely more reflective of who I am inside and not being afraid of somebody not liking me or liking what I'm saying, because you get to this stage in life and it's like you don't bloody well care anymore. It's like I'm going to say what I need to say and I'm going to be who I am,
Yeah.
and this is who I am, and take me or leave me. And on the subject that you're talking about, I just realized I have the perfect thing to read.
Oh, good.
It's Deborah Kuzbik wrote this
Yeah.
in our book, and it's called Gob Smacked by a Number. 70. Should I feel old, weak, near the end? Feel none of these. Instead, I feel grateful, peaceful, fulfilled, and full of life for my life, and full of love for my life, my family, my home, my universe. I don't feel like I have begun the winter of my life, more like a beautiful Indian summer or an extended autumn.
Hmm.
What can I give in return? How can I serve? How can I be a better version of myself?
Hmm. Oh my goodness, that's so beautiful. Well done, Deborah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, because it's true. We want to do more. We want to do something with this, whatever it is that we're at. Um, did you find, like, going just bouncing off of her age number? Um, I know that you and I are in our 60s, so my curiosity is, ha, did you notice a change in your writing once you retired?
Um, no, not really, because I've been sort of semi-retired for quite a while. I'm really blessed to have an online writing type job. So I wouldn't say that I changed too much. COVID might have done it though. COVID might have,
Right.
I think I went inside a bit more, reflected a bit more on my life. Uh, yeah, I would say I
Yeah,
would
there's
say
been some
so.
changes. I find I have regressed. I've gone the other way. I find
Hmm.
that I'm second guessing my verbs and my adjectives. I'm second guessing my spelling. I was a teacher for 35 years as well,
Yes.
and I'm like I'm making silly mistakes in my writing, and I was very
Mhm.
surprised that that's been happening. Have you experienced anything like that?
Yes, now I know what you mean. Sorry, I had misunderstood your question. Absolutely. My spelling, oh my God. I mean, I won in a contest in grade three for my spelling. I remember I got this elephant book, a really boring gift, a prize. But anyway, but I've noticed like I'll look and it doesn't look right, and thank God for spell check. I never thought I
Right?
would need it. Oh my God.
I know, I'm the same. It's like spell check, oh my gosh. Like, wow. Now,
Yeah.
now because we're in an age of change, and even though your book is called Something Has Changed, I'm sure that this is not part of it, but again, it's a curiosity that I have. So many people are turning to ChatGPT for supports and for things like that. Are you noticing a change in your writing with the help of any AI, or are you still writing raw?
No, there's times when I will put in an idea into Chat GPT,
Yeah.
not an idea, but rather something I've written. If I need to summarize it, for instance, because that's a really hard job for me. I find it really hard to summarize. So that will be a help for me, just to take out a few things that aren't necessary,
Hmm.
and to take out the repetition. But other than that, I don't want to do more because then it's chat GPT writing, not me. And that's not cool for me.
I'm
So
with you on that, but I'm also very grateful for the way that technology is been able to improve some of the things, that, even, where I would edit something, re-edit it, edit it again, like I think, all writers do from one level or another, right? And I am not a writer like you are by any means. I have the one article in Nanaimo Voyager. There's the occasion I might write another piece here or there in it, but really at the end of the day, that's not it's not a big part of my world. But I find that having the technology available to me means that if I've got an idea and I'm writing along and then I've got ChatGPT beside me and I'm like, can you give me a word that sounds better than blank, blank, blank? Then it can
yes.
pop those. It's easier than my thesaurus in so many
Yeah.
ways, right?
Yeah. Yes. And also if I'm writing a piece in Substack and I need to get some facts correct, then I will go to ChatGPT just to give it an extra little fact check thing, making
Yeah,
sure I'm not telling people the wrong thing because
yeah,
horrors for that, right?
yeah,
But other than that, that I try not to use it often.
yeah, yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And I do caution ChatGPT is definitely not the authority on things. There's a lot of, it hasn't been
Hmm.
perfected yet. There's still a lot of lies that are found on ChatGPT, right? That they kind of
Right.
twist things. So you have to be authentic and look up what they give you and then question it again and again and again and
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of my last resort check.
again.
Just because there's so much bias in the media. It's difficult to find, which voice is telling the truth. So it's definitely harder work nowadays in some ways because you really have to dig deep. So Chat GPT, I'll just go through it and just double check and make sure that I'm not leading people down the garden path, right?
So I'm glad to hear that you're actually using ChatGPT as well, because I think that there's something about us being able to walk ahead with the times. The times they
Mhm.
are changing, like we do
Yeah.
know that things are different than they once were. When
Mhm.
you look at the authors that you have in your book, each one of them is obviously talking about something that has changed within their lives to create this, to make this flow. And have you found that as you were editing yourself and you were going through all of the contributions, that there was a real theme of what people were really writing about as they were writing through? Or were each of the segments so very, very different that they were like, because we talked a little bit about there being variety, yes, but is the
Mhm.
theme similar?
Yeah, oh yeah. We wrote or we produced our writing around the title. So some of us had some pieces already written that would go with that title. Some of us had written things. We give each other prompts. We meet every 2 weeks and we give each other prompts. So some of those prompts were perfect for to go with our something has changed theme. So definitely the theme is the same throughout, although it's incredibly diverse. The theme is definitely going all the way through the book. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and for the women that have contributed as well to this anthology, were some of them brand new authors, or they've all been seasoned authors that are just now coming together as part of Pen Pals to be part of this? Or have they been like dreaming about being an author? And, like tell us a little bit about the people that are involved in Pen Pals.
Yes, well, as you know, I've read their bios earlier.
Yes, you did.
Um, four of us have been published. One of the ladies hadn't, so this was really kind of exciting. I think maybe more exciting for her even because we believed in her enough to, come on and be part of our book. So, but yes, the bios I read, I think just showed kind of how people were involved in writing in the past. Like Deborah, for instance, she is a writing teacher, and she has written books. Jackie Townsend, she has done a lot of writing through cookbooks, newspaper columns, all that kind of thing. Lynn McEwen, well, mostly poetry. She has published poetry. Ramona, she has studied English literature, but this is her first publication.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
very
just I'm
exciting.
just thrilled for her. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? I
It
hope.
does, absolutely does. I remember us earlier in the conversation talking about it, but there's always that wondering of, what as we talk about writers, because I think that there may be that writer out there that's a little bit nervous, that this is a
Mm,
big step
hmm
for them
hmm
to be part of an anthology or to be part of a book,
hmm
and a little intimidating at that.
Yes, and yes, perhaps yes. But with an anthology, it's maybe a little less intimidating because you're not trying to write the entire book. You're
Right.
a team, right? And you each have a part. So I think it's maybe a little less intimidating, perhaps.
That's exciting though, because that gives the
Yeah.
opportunities up there. Do you accept new members in pen pals that might be interested in joining your team?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, there's going to be a new lady there this coming our next meeting for
Oh,
sure, and
good.
so we'll be getting to know her and see how it goes. We won't necessarily do a book. We've been talking about it, but this was a heck of a lot of work and a lot of hours I put into the
Yes,
formatting. I had to learn from scratch. I had never formatted a book before. I've done editing, but never a whole book. Luckily, I had Deborah on board to help me. They say that once you have a baby, you don't ever ask the person if they're going to have another baby right away.
of
You know,
course.
give me time to think about this.
I get it. I get it. Well, listen, I'm going to take a moment here to tell everybody it's time to go get a piece of paper and a pen because we know that something has changed, is now available. And there's a few ways we're going to talk about how you can get your copy. But it is important right now that you grab that piece of paper and pen. And while you do that, I'm going to give you some announcements if you don't mind. So I just want to do a couple of important shout outs right at the moment. There's some really great stuff that's going on in the community right now. It is the season of giving. We know here we are in beautiful November, although you may end up having this as an encore somewhere at another time of the year, but the need does not change no matter what. So I want to just shout out to a couple of, groups right now that I know are going to be needing some support. I really, really want to thank all of the work that Volunteer Nanaimo does in our community. I don't think that people realize just what an extremely amazing organization it is under the leadership of Rita Inamorati. It's the Christmas Angel program. And so with the Christmas Angel program, you can anonymously donate to Volunteer Nanaimo to a family by getting involved in the Christmas Angel program. And our incredible angels go into community and they deliver these wonderful hampers and gifts to vetted families. So you would have to be, come through one of our local agencies within the community so that we're ensuring that we are getting the right thing for you. I say we're because I have the great privilege of working with Rita on the board of Volunteer Nanaimo. But this is really her shining moment. She does incredible work in our community. Last year, something like 1,500 individuals were supported with the Christmas Angel program. We know that it's probably going to be more that is needed this year because there's just so much need everywhere. So please, if you do have it in your mind that you want to do something really special this year, I really invite you to check out Volunteer Nanaimo. Easy to find on the website, just vnnanaimo at shaw.ca, or check them out on the website, info at Volunteer Nanaimo, or type in Volunteer Nanaimo, or check them out with Act 3 because I will direct you. Absolutely. So there's that. The other thing I want to talk about is my dear friend from Helmet Heads. So, what people may not know is you may see this guy driving around in the summertime with a Muppet on his head, on his helmet. Okay. You may have seen him on Act 3 in our studio. You may have listened to him on my Act 3 radio broadcast. And I want you to know that right now, what is needed from him, he takes brand new toys to hospital rooms on Vancouver Island, all over Vancouver Island. And he brings these toys to children who are going through incredible treatment in these hospitals. So almost every single hospital in Vancouver Island my friend at Hillman Head is doing this incredible work. So you're going to start seeing in the community. And next time I come to the program, I'll share with you the actual locations where you can go. But I just want to drop that in your mind to think about Helmet Heads Canada. Easy to find on Facebook if you want to contribute to his program. These are toys going 365 days of the year. This is not just a Christmas event. It's being done all the time, but by him and a group of his friends. They do amazing work. And so I want to introduce you to helmetheads.ca. So those are the two things that are going on. And I also just want to drop a little piece of magic. Number one, you may recall, you may know my dear friend Dean Thelner Visaljak, who also does another show for Rogers Television called Upfront, and our friend Jeremy, who you see on Act 3 all the time. So Dean and Jeremy and myself and Kevin are working towards doing something really cool in this hood for September 12th, 2026. I'm dropping that seed right now. We are trying to raise huge dollars with probably the best event of the season. It is the event to go to this fall coming up, not this year, next year, September the 12th. Mark your calendar. I'll tell you more about that coming up real soon. So I hope you've got your paper to pen at the moment. I think I've shared enough for what's going on in the community in these few minutes. And I'd like to return to my fabulous guest, Micki Findlay, and the book that we're talking about, which she and her buddies have written. Something has changed. Thanks for being here again. I love sharing the work that you do. I've read your pieces. I love Chicken Soup for the Soul. I find that in these times, finding a piece of light is just one of the most important things that we can do. There's a lot of people in need right now and just need a little bit of a smile. And it doesn't matter what age you are. That smile is a hug that comes through a screen or through a novel or through music or through something spectacular, right?
Yes, and I actually am glad you mentioned that because we have a little light, a very uplifting, lovely event coming up
Yes, tell us
on,
all about it.
yes. So on November 24th,
Mhm.
6:30 p.m. at the Mulberry Bush Bookstore in Qualicum Beach. And that address is 130 West 2nd Avenue. Our event is called Holiday Magic at Mulberry. And I'm just going to read quickly what it's about. It's easier because, I'm at that age where it's easier to read than
Oh
to
yeah, go
remember.
for it. You make it so, my dear.
All right. So join us for an intimate, soulful gathering as we unwrap the heart of the season with a live reading from our new book, Something Has Changed, written by 5 women authors from Vancouver Island who weave heartache into poetry, trauma into art, and hopelessness into inspiration.
Beautiful.
With raw honesty, humor, and heartfelt insight, this collection explores the richness of a woman's life, from childhood memories to grown-up grit, from painful truths to joyful revelations. They'll pull you into their world while turning yours upside down. So I just wanted to mention there's going to be, oh, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be all Christmassy. We're going
Ooh,
to have hot apple cider and festive goodies. The ladies are all baking.
yum.
We have mystery gifts and a gorgeous coastal door prize, a basket full of all kinds of coastal, lovely handmade items. There's going to be inspiration, laughter, and cozy vibes, and a heartfelt Q&E by moi. So just to let everybody know that space is very limited. There's only like 14 chairs or something. So make sure that you RSVP early because it's going to be really special and it's filling up quickly. So
Where do
you
they
can just,
RSVP to? How do
so
they, yeah.
yep, so email Micki, me, at penpalsbook@outlook.com. So penpalsbook@outlook.com.
No, I
It's
understand
five
that.
dollars.
I was just going to
It's
say, I
$5.
understand
So
that it starts at 6:30 p.m., right? And it's $5
yep,
per person, right?
yes, and they can pay by e-transfer to me or just bring it to the event. That's fine. So we do have an event on Facebook. If they want to go on to our Pen Pals book Facebook group, they'll see the little event tab. They can go on there and they can find out all about it, and they can join there if they like it, but they still have to email me so I know.
Oh no, I
So I'm
think
really
that's
looking forward
important.
to that.
Definitely RSVP you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, it's going to be a live reading, a little snippets here and there. It's even going to be a little music I'm going to throw in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just going to be warm and cozy and delightful.
I forgot that you sang, but you do. You have a lovely voice and you write some really cute little ditties that we don't unfortunately have the opportunity to listen to on today's episode. But I do remember you sharing a couple of them in some of our previous episode. I forgot you do that. But you also do Christmas crafts and all kinds of like crafty stuff. Are you still doing that?
I am actually our door prize is actually all the stuff that I make. So we've got. Actually, I'll show you one thing. Hold
For
on.
sure, for sure, for sure. So while she is grabbing what it is that she's grabbing to do that, this is a lovely thing to do with a girlfriend, right? It's really, really
Absolutely.
something special to spend some time and listen to some great stuff. So on the screen, I'm going to describe is a beautiful bottle that has a beach theme. Do you want to describe it a little bit for our guests?
Yes. So what I do is I take old gin bottles, which is hilarious because I don't drink
I
gin.
was going to say,
I
where
think
does the
it's
gin?
horrible.
You get to drink the gin before you do something with the
I
bottle.
wish. I hate it. So people donate them to me, which is lovely. So there's sand on the outside, on the bottom, and there's a lovely starfish at the top, inside the cork, and just little decoration, little mermaid decoration kind of thing here. And then we've got like a beautiful candle. So this is a
Mm.
tea light holder made with a big shell, clam shell, and with all kinds of little shells. There's earrings. We've got coastal earrings because you remember I make those as well. So anyway, there's going to be a big, huge basket, and there's going to be some beautiful seashells in it as well. And yeah, so
How
yeah, cool.
fun. How fun. Are any of the stories about coastal life as well? You did say something a little bit about, there it's all Vancouver Island writers. Is some of their work kind of coastal-ish?
Um, Not hugely, but I did write something. Um, Let me see if I can find it quickly enough. Um, yeah, I know it's here. It just takes me a bit. Sorry.
That's okay,
Um,
not to worry at all. Sometimes some of the best things are worth the
oh,
wait. Here we go.
well, here you go. It's called "Take Me to the Ocean Blue." Take me to the ocean blue and leave me there to be renewed. Let salt spray cool my weary face and slow my mind to coastal pace. My heart shall guide my ship to steer where life's concerns become so clear and melt like dross and fall away as eventide draws into play. Take me to the ocean blue and leave me there to be renewed. Release all cares upon the shore and vow to pick them up no more.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I actually turned that into a song as well, so I'll be singing that at the event.
Oh, how lovely. How lovely. Did you spend a lot of time at the beach this year?
Um, I wouldn't say I would have spent a lot of time, but I have to at least drive by and stop occasionally because uh, it it just helps me to breathe, helps me to breathe and slow down because I'm not a good slower downer person.
Yes, you're
So
always busy. That is true.
I yes, and I know you can relate to that, right? Um, I have to admit though, as much as it's beautiful here, I miss the wild ocean in Oregon, in the
Uh,
Oregon coast. And I know we have it here in Tofino and Ucluelet, so I need to take a visit there because I miss those big waves and huge rock formations. But we had just made a decision, in spite of the fact we have people we love in the States. We are not going to, like you said, we're not going to take the chance, unfortunately, to
Yeah,
go there. So that's it's been a grieving process for me, and I'm sure a lot of people. And that's why writing has been so therapeutic as well for me.
no kidding. And it's true. I mean I struggle when I know that I've got some very, very good friends out of the States, and my shout outs to them always. They're in my heart, and we have our Zooms and our, texting here and there and all of that stuff. But it is very, it was very easy to freely say, okay, well, let's just, slip across the line and we'll, go down and spend some time in Fairhaven or wherever. And just be with our friends, one of my very best friends has a whole crew, including her son, lives in New York, and that, constant going back and forth, through the States, has been emotional and difficult at times.
Mm.
But she's a trooper and she'll keep on, and I mean, if my son lived there, I would too. There's something to be said about, I don't care about a border when it comes to my kids, but we are kind of holding my silent and quiet pushback on what's been happening is to avoid, going to the States. I truthfully don't, I look at the labels, where's my food coming from, like
Mm,
all of those things
yep,
is my quiet protest of like, I just
yes,
really thoughtful
us
about
too.
staying Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And actually, on that note, Kathy, I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that we were committed to, are committed to in our group, is we wanted to, rather than going through Amazon or any of the usual places in the States that sell books, we've decided to keep our money in local BC and Canadian businesses. So, for instance, earlier I think you were asking where to get our book.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you know. So at the Courtyard Coffee in Qualicum Beach,
Yeah.
the Qualicum Beach Museum, and on if people come to our Holiday Magic at Mulberry event on November 24th, they'll be able to buy our book there. And if all else fails, if you're not in those areas, you can order a paperback or ebook me, or get an ebook by emailing myself at, again, penpalsbook@outlook.com. And I should also mention, anything people want to know about our book or know about us, if they go to our website,
Yes.
that's probably the easiest thing. And it's just somethinghaschanged.ca.
Okay.
So somethinghaschanged.ca. And that's actually a great place to go to too, because you can read all kinds of reader reviews about our book.
Oh, yes.
You can write, you can read about our goals and any upcoming things that are happening. Um, Speaking of reader reviews, is it okay if I read one?
Yeah, I'd love it. Go for it.
This is my favorite, absolute favorite. It's written by Diane Crompart. She's a soul coach and mentor and Zentangle teacher. This book took me by surprise. I did not expect to journey so deeply and be so touched by the lives of each of these five women. I felt as if I was transported from my reading chair and invited to sit with them by a warm fire.
Hmm.
Their sacred circle was where I witnessed to their generous and brave truth telling. Deeply moved and emotionally connected, I felt myself weaving in and out of each woman's life, shaken by some stories and soothed by others. The images and experiences they share of love, loss, heartbreak, challenges, and personal growth and transformation are profound. The writing, simply exquisite. The voices of each of these women will speak to your heart, nourish your soul, and leave you wanting more. Such a privilege to sit with these beautiful women in their sacred circle. This is a must-read book and a gift to be treasured and savored. My gosh, does it get better than that? Isn't that
That
lovely?
is a beautiful review. That is a beautiful review. May I ask for our listeners, how much is your book?
$20.
20 bucks. Oh my God, what a great gift.
Yep.
20
And if
bucks
they can't
and
afford
not
20
lose.
bucks, if they can't afford $20, I also can send them an ebook for $10. So, it's totally up to them. Not everybody's into ebooks, but it's available if they want it. So,
Well, I think that it's really great that you have a beautiful thing to bring this season. I can't believe that I'm talking about this season. I found myself, thinking about Christmas. What am I, because at this time of year, I'm always like, and it's perfect that you're on the show at this time of year. You seem to be around just as the season is. Either we're in a Christmas time or Christmas show, but for whatever
mhm.
reason, I don't know why, I've just noticed that the few times that you've been on the program, it seemed to follow around the holiday. So I'm glad that you get to start our holiday. I think it's becoming a tradition for us to have this as a
I
holiday
think
thing.
so too.
Really? So what a great gift for people. And so once again, they can get your book at penpalsbook@outlook.com or go to the website, something has changed.ca. And again, they are, can you spell out your name for people so that they know? Actually, with pen pals, you don't have to, but I think you should spell it anyway so people know. Micki Findlay.
Oh, Micki and Findlay. I actually have a few things that I've written on YouTube, and I have a few things from the pen pals there as well. But I also wanted to mention, uh, please support your local businesses right now because if ever there was a time to keep your money in Canada, I really feel strongly this is it. So go to the Courtyard Cafe in Qualicum Beach if you're nearby and give them your business. Buy a book there. Go to the Qualicum Beach Museum. It's a beautiful museum. It's incredible, actually. And buy a book there if you like. But let's keep our money close to home if we can.
I agree with you 1,000%. I think any which way we can support our community is what we need to do. So thank you so much. It's been such a treat to have you on the program. We're not quite done yet, but before we go, I'm just going to give a little bit of a heads up on a couple more things. So number one, thanks for tuning in to Act 3 on CHLY 101.7 FM. Yes, you did it. You had a wonderful time at our show, I do hope. And if you missed any part of it, please do go to our YouTube channel and enjoy the program there as an encore performance or how, as a beginning to end. Or if you want to find out what Micki and I were talking about, I will make sure that those links are in our YouTube body as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing is Act 3 on Rogers Cable 4 is 4 times a day. And Kevin did a great job while I was away for the taping. I can't remember where I was. I've been to a couple places now. So, really, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, please go ahead and watch it. But the new taping is coming out next week. So by all means, you got to tune in for that show so that you can see what's happening within our community once again. I also want to remind you that you can find this not only on our YouTube channel, but on iHeartRadio and Spotify. And one thing that I don't talk about nearly enough is that I also write for Nanaimo and Voyager magazine. I do encourage you to pick it up wherever you can. You'll find it at the community center, kind of just about everywhere. Nanaimo magazine is in the Nanaimo area. Voyager magazine is outside of the Nanaimo physical area. So it's the same magazine, just two different covers. And you can find out more about what's happening within the community by checking us out in that magazine as well. So, for today's episode of Act 3, Micki Finlay, thank you so much for being here. As always, I need to ask you my favorite question near the end of the program. If you could imbibe in our community, a piece of wisdom, something that really, really is a calling for you to share to our community, what might that look like for you today?
Well, I'm usually ready for that question. This time I wasn't. But I will say that because I found the friendship in a writing group helps support me. It helps encourage me. These women are incredible. We've created this bond where we can tell each other just about anything. And I think if there was any advice I would give people right now, it's find your tribe.
Yeah.
Do not deal with things alone because when we isolate and insulate, it can be very, very dangerous and very hard to get through things. Um, and as a writer, it's very easy to isolate yourself. So find your tribe and get out of your home, go out for coffee, find the women or men or whatever that you resonate with, and form these relationships. It's really important, especially nowadays.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I feel so blessed that you're part of my tribe. Thank you for being on the program again. Thank you for being
Thank you,
in my
Kathy.
life and being such an incredible, wonderful beam of light in this community. I just am grateful for your writing and for all of your wonderful women that are part of your tribe that contribute to this book. What a great way to spend the holidays is cuddled up. I've always believed that there are three things that you have to give people for Christmas. This is, I mean, even though this isn't a Christmas show, it is gift time. We are thinking like that, right? Number one, I always want somebody to have something to read. That's always part of it. Something to wear. Generally speaking, I love to give pajamas and something to really enjoy and share with others. And that's usually some kind of a treat of some kind. So whether it's a homemade cookie or a homemade bread or something that you break bread together, that to me is what a holiday is all about. It's the sharing of this warmth, that's a writing of other people because they teach us so much. And so thank you for being such a terrific teacher through your writing and for being just such a darn lovely human being. It has been a pleasure to have you on the show today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. And thank you for being a wonderful human being. And I'm very blessed to be in your life as well.
Thank you. All right, everybody. That's it for Act 3 on CHLY 101.7 FM. Have yourself an absolutely delightful day, will you? Bye for now.